there, welcome to yoga. I'm Heather. Not only welcome to our first responders, but also to our healthcare heroes. Those of you that are all working so hard out there each and every day to keep us healthy, to keep us safe. We'd just like to say thank you for all that you do for us. And I hope that through these brief practices, you're able to find a little bit of peace, a little bit of stillness, maybe some tools that you can take with you off the mat as well to help you just continue on with what you do each and every day. So thank you. Today we're going to do a little practice moving with our breath, a little bit more movement than some, but of course finding some stillness, some pauses in between, which helps us balance that nervous system that is often so heightened. We're going to try to bring it down throughout. So let's go ahead and get started. Feel free to follow along as you'd like, take breaks as needed. So go ahead, we're going to start standing. Go ahead and make your way to the front of your mat. And as we begin, feel free to just walk it out a few times. Try walking on those toes as you lift those heels, and then maybe down on those heels as you lift the toes. Just a few times walking around your mat. Maybe you can start to shake out those arms, move through those hands, through those legs. You might hear a few little crackles and pops through those feet as we start to wake them up. And eventually just making your way back to the front of your mat. Just finding a nice solid base as we ground down into both feet. The space in between your feet is completely up to you, whatever feels most comfortable here. And a little bend in those knees so we can really sink down into those legs, grounding down into the ground beneath you. Let's take a few shoulder rolls as we draw those shoulders forward and back. Or maybe forward and up, and then back and down. A few circles with those shoulders, and try going the opposite direction a few times with those circles. And then just one more circle all the way down and back, extending through those arms, reaching down through those fingertips, and lifting tall through the crown of your head. So just nice and strong in our mountain here. Now feel free to close those eyes if you'd like, or if you'd rather keep them open, you can just find a gentle gaze down at the floor. And take a moment to find the breath. Just notice how you are breathing right now. Maybe as you breathe, you might notice that just by bringing awareness to your breath, it starts to slow down naturally. Now as you continue to breathe, try bringing one hand over the belly, the other hand over the heart. And just pause here for a few moments. Again, just softening through the gaze, softening the muscles around your eyes, maybe relaxing through the jaw a bit, and the tops of those shoulders. And just see if you can feel any movement underneath those hands as you continue to breathe here. Maybe start to feel that breath move into the chest, maybe even into the belly. Sometimes it's a little harder to feel the breath in the belly. And then as you breathe out, maybe you can feel that belly come back in and the chest relax. Now just exploring with the breath for a few moments here. Try to bring all your awareness just to that hand that's over your heart. As you continue to breathe, just see if you can feel movement underneath that hand. So just breathing into the chest. You might not only feel the chest rise as you breathe in, but you might feel it expand as you breathe in. And then come back in toward the center of the body as you breathe out. One more breath here, just in the chest. That's where you naturally breathe, or maybe that breath feels a little restricted here. So let's try a little different area, bringing awareness just to the hand that's over that belly. Same thing here, see if we can bypass the chest and go right to the belly. So inhaling, see if you can just fill the belly up, just like you're filling a balloon inside the belly. As you breathe in, that balloon fills and expands so the belly rises. And as you breathe out, just like you're letting the air out of that balloon as the belly comes back down. Just a couple breaths here, trying to keep that focus just noticing if this is a little bit more difficult to breathe this way, or maybe you're able to breathe a little fuller here. One more breath in the belly. And then let's connect the two. So as you breathe in, try breathing in, letting the chest rise, and also breathing deep into that belly, letting it expand, and exhaling as everything comes back in toward the center of that body. Inhaling into the chest, into the belly. Exhaling out of the belly, out of the chest. 2 more breaths like that. Hopefully you can feel a little deeper of a breath this way by using both the lungs and the diaphragm. One more deep breath in. And exhaling it all the way out. Relaxing those hands whenever you'd like. Again, feel free to shake out those arms. All right, let's bring those hands back to our heart. At the front of our mats here, let's inhale and just reach those arms all the way up towards the ceiling till those hands connect, and then exhaling them down to your heart center. Again, as we inhale, let's reach out to the sides, slightly back, all the way up. Exhaling those hands to your heart. And this time as we inhale, we're going to reach all the way up. Let's bring those hands together at the top, and then exhaling over to one side. Inhaling, let's reach all the way back up through center. Exhaling to the opposite side. Inhaling as we lift up, and on the exhale, releasing those hands, bending the knees, and finding a gentle forward fold. So just folding over those legs, keeping a nice soft bend in those legs, and maybe dropping the crown of the head down towards the floor. Just allow the head to relax here. Feel free to shake it no, nod it yes. A few times forward and back, releasing some of that tension we all hold on to in our necks. And as we bring that head back to center, deeper bend in those knees, and very slowly making your way back up to standing. Inhaling, arms all the way up, and exhaling our hands to our heart. Deep breath in, let's reach out and up. Exhaling, forward fold. Try to lead with the heart as you fold over those legs. This time on our inhale, we're just going to lift halfway, bringing hands to the legs, and then exhaling, forward fold. Deep bend in those knees, nice and strong, lifting all the way up. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Continuing with our breath, inhaling as we lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling as we fold. Go ahead and step the right foot and the left foot all the way back as you reach those hips back and up to your downward dog. Feel free to take a breath or two here, walking out those heels, just bending one knee towards the mat and then the other. And then just relaxing both heels towards the floor. Grounding down into those fingertips, almost like you're trying to press the mat away from those feet with those hands. Then inhaling as we shift our weight forward, finding that plank. Go ahead and bring both knees to the floor. Exhaling, elbows bend, lowering all the way down to the chest and the belly. On our inhale, just take a nice big shoulder roll down and back. Lifting the shoulders, lifting the chest off the floor. Exhaling as we lower back to the floor. And then inhale, let's lift just up to those knees. Tuck in the toes. Reaching those hips back towards the heels. Nice long spine. And then slowly lifting those hips up. Downward dog. Turning that gaze forward in between your hands. Go ahead and step those feet to the front. And inhaling, we'll lift halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. Deep bend in those knees. Strong through those legs as we inhale, arms lift. Exhaling, hands to our heart. Building on as we inhale, reaching arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Find a nice long spine. Exhaling as we fold. Stepping those feet back to your downward dog. And inhaling forward to your plank. Staying on those toes this time. On the exhale, let's bend those elbows and just lower halfway down. And then inhale, lifting through the crown of the head, pressing down into those fingertips, and drawing those shoulder blades back. Exhaling, lifting those hips back up, downward dog. This time on our inhale, we're just going to lift our right leg, reaching it back behind us, and then exhaling, bending that right knee. Try stepping that right foot to the front. You can always reach back and help that ankle forward. Walking those hands back until they meet up with the foot. And let's lower down to our left knee. Inhaling, reaching both arms all the way up. And then exhaling, lowering those hands to the floor. Stepping that back foot to the front. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Deep bend in those knees, grounding down into the feet as we inhale, arms lift. Exhaling, hands to our heart. Take a moment right here, finding that pause, finding your breath. Maybe you can feel that breath moving back into the chest, maybe into the belly. Noticing what else draws your attention in the body. Maybe the heart beating. Maybe you can feel your fingertips connected. Maybe you feel the mat underneath those feet. 2 more full breaths here. On that next inhale, when you feel ready, go ahead and reach those arms back up nice and tall, and exhale, forward fold, hinging at those hips. Inhaling, halfway lift, the crown of the head reaches forward. Exhaling, forward fold, stepping or hopping back to that downward dog. Inhaling forward to your plank. You can do it on your toes or those knees, and exhale, elbows bend, try to hug them in along your sides. And then inhale, lifting, reaching the chest forward as we lift up. Exhaling, making your way back to your downward dog. This time on our inhale, let's lift our left leg. Reaching it back behind, and then exhaling, bending that left knee, and stepping that left foot to the front of your mat, helping it forward as much as needed. Lowering down to that right knee, go ahead and inhale, reaching both arms forward and up, nice and tall. Exhaling, lowering those hands back to the mat. Let's step that back foot to the front, and inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Deep bend in those knees, slowly making your way all the way back up to standing. Exhaling, hands to your heart. 5 breaths here. Feel free to breathe through the nose, to slow it down, or maybe through the mouth. If you need to release a little bit of energy, a little bit of heat. Okay, when you feel ready, let's bring those hands back to our heart center and slowly step our right foot to the back, turning that right foot slightly out to the side, bending into this left knee, and we'll turn those shoulders facing forward. As we inhale, let's reach those arms all the way up. And on the exhale, we're going to straighten this front leg, and we're going to reach these hands forward. So just hinging at the hips. The torso is going to stay where it's at, and we're just going to reach our hands back behind us. So palms are facing one another, and we're going to move with our breath. So inhaling, bending the front knee, reaching both arms up. Exhaling, straightening that front leg as those arms reach back. 3 times with that breath as we inhale, lifting up nice and strong. Exhaling, hinging at those hips. Inhaling as you lift, try to press into the outer edge of that back foot. Exhaling as you fold. And last time here, inhaling, lifting all the way up. Exhaling one more time as we fold here. We're going to pause right here. Maybe try bringing those hands together behind the body and just draw those shoulders down the back. Reaching forward through the crown of the head. One more breath as we pause right here. And then inhale, releasing those hands. Go ahead and lift all the way up. And exhaling, both hands lower to the floor. We're going to lower down to that right knee once again, untucking those toes. Let's keep our right hand on the floor, directly under the shoulder. And then inhaling, left arm reaches forward and all the way up towards the ceiling, finding our twist, turning towards that front knee. Now we're going to pause here for about 5 breaths. You can stay on that back knee, or you can tuck the toes and lift that back knee off the floor. Maybe you pause, or you can move that top arm. Maybe on the exhale, reaching your hand back. Inhale, reaching it up. 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, go ahead and lower that top hand all the way back to the floor. And let's step our front foot to the back, to that downward dog. Checking in with those legs, checking in with the breath. Maybe we take a deep breath in through the nose and a long breath out through the mouth. And then go ahead and turn that gaze forward. Inhaling forward to your plank, and exhale, feel free to move through your flow. As you bend those elbows, inhale, reaching the tailbone back, the chest forward. Exhaling back to your downward dog. Turning that gaze forward. Once again, in between those hands, you can bend those knees and hop to the front, or you can step those feet to the front. Inhaling, halfway lift when you get there, and then exhaling, forward fold. Deep bend in those knees. Once again, inhale nice and slow, standing all the way up. Exhale, let's try side and out through the mouth. Finding that breath, finding that pause. Maybe bringing one hand back over the heart, the other hand over the belly. We can oftentimes use our breath almost like a timer. About 5 breaths here. Sometimes we just do things one breath at a time. Just notice what you feel underneath those hands as you breathe. Maybe one more full breath here. Awesome. Then go ahead and bring those hands back to your heart center. This time we're going to step our left foot to the back. Turning that left foot out towards the side of the room. Bending this front knee, this right knee, go ahead and turn your shoulders and your gaze forward as well. Getting set in your warrior one, strong through both legs. It's really easy to engage this front leg, right? Because that's where our weight is going. But see if you can press into the pinky toe edge of that back foot. That'll help engage the thigh and the glute as well. So when you're ready to find some movement, let's inhale, both arms reach all the way up. And on the exhale, we're going to straighten that front leg, reach forward as far as you can, and then just sweep those hands back. So those fingertips are reaching back, palms facing one another. And then we'll move with our breath. Inhale as we reach back up, front knee bends, engaging that back leg. Exhaling, straightening that front leg as we reach back. Inhaling as we lift, bring the shoulders right above the hips. Exhaling as we hinge at those hips. Crown of the head reaches forward. One more time as we inhale all the way up. Exhaling as we hinge. And then slowly making your way back up as we lift those arms. And exhaling, go ahead and lower both hands to the floor. Lowering down to that left knee. Left hand stays on the floor here. And inhaling, try reaching your right arm forward. And then up towards the ceiling, finding that twist. So you turn towards your front knee. Gently try to draw that front knee in towards that left shoulder here. And maybe we hold for about 5 breaths. Maybe we lift that back knee, or maybe we move. Exhaling, reaching your hand back towards your foot. Inhaling the hand back up. Your choice if you'd rather move or pause. Maybe 2 more breaths here. And after that next exhale, go ahead and lower both hands to the floor. We're going to step the front foot back to our downward dog. Feel free to move through another flow if you'd like, or you can bend those knees lower into the floor. Big toes come together, and we'll sit back into child's pose. Resting your forehead on the mat or on your hands, or if it's not so comfortable on the knees and the hips, you can always just be up here seated on the knees or on your hips. So again, we're going to pause right here, maybe about 10 breaths here, just because this one is so great. And as we pause, almost as if you had your hand on the belly and on the chest, notice any movement going on in the chest and the belly. Slowing down that breath out. Using the wonderful tool that we have in our breath to calm the body, not only to calm the mind, but to slow down the heart rate, to engage that calming, the parasympathetic nervous system. Maybe one more full breath here. And then slowly extending those arms forward if they're not already there. Hands about shoulder width apart, and just reach those fingertips forward as far as you can as you draw back through those hips. And maybe we walk both hands over to our right side, gently leaning those hips over to the left. Noticing that left side of the body, sending your breath into that space that you're creating. And then maybe on the next inhale, we walk those hands back through center, pausing right there in the middle, just so you can notice the difference between the two sides of the torso or the two shoulders. And then when you're ready, you can walk both hands over to the left side, maybe leaning those hips over to the right. And then slowly we'll bring those hands, walking them back to center. And we'll walk those hands all the way up. Just coming up onto those knees, or you can have a seat on your mat. Just for these last few breaths as we finish up. So just finding a comfortable space, a comfortable seat here. And on our next breath in, let's reach those arms out and up. On the breath out, we're just gonna bend our elbows. Find a little shoulder, a little heart opener. And then inhaling as we reach those arms back up. Exhaling all the way down to our heart center. One more breath together as we take a breath in through the nose. And then a nice long breath out through the mouth. Thank you for joining me today for that moving flow. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you next time. Namaste.